Good morning. So it's Tuesday, May 6th. Open your red calendar. Wes or Bea should have passed these out by now. And find today's day on your calendar with your finger. You should have picked this one. By this time, I'm on the ship and it's sailing to Mexico. So, having lots of fun doing things on the ship. The ship is like a city. It has everything that a city has, including doctors, medical, restaurants, fun activities, movie theater, shows, all kinds of stuff. Okay? And then turn the page. I forgot to turn my timer on. Okay, make sure you go check the weather outside and then highlight what's happening out there. Turn the page and do your tally mark for May. Once you've done that, close your folder. Wes, make sure you collect them and put them on the shelf where they go. And then put your attention over here on the wall for the wall calendar, the board. All right. So Bea, make sure you mark May 6th on the 10 frame and make sure you count them. You can pause the video and then unpause it when you're done. It shouldn't take very long. And then if once you've come back from pausing the video, make sure you do the calendar with everyone. So yesterday was Monday, May 5th, 2025. Today is Tuesday, May 6th, 2025. Tomorrow is Wednesday, May 7th, 2025. Remember, store will be every Thursday until school is out. If I don't have checks for you this week, they'll be next week. Okay? No worries on that. Probably won't have them this week while I'm gone. Okay, Avea, it's time to write the date on the board. What is the abbreviation for the day of the week? TUES. And the month? Well, there's no abbreviation because May is such a short word, so it's just May. What is the day of the month? Remember, commas are only in between the day of the week and the month, and then the number in the year. The year is 2025. What month is May? It is the 5th month. What's the day of the month? It's the 6th. And what is the year? The abbreviation for the year. 25. So make sure you have all that finished. And then today we will continue our packet. We only have 2 pages left, so we will finish that. And then you have some task cards, depending on where we're at when my timer goes off. Depends on if you have homework. Okay. Hopefully we will have time to get the task cards done and check them. You'll definitely need a ruler and a pencil and your shapes, so make sure you have all of that. You'll need your packet. Turn to page 7 in your packet. And at this time, Avea, you are doing your worksheet for TMBT 8. No work to show on this. It's all done in your head. Underline the place value that's being affected. All those things that you did on your exit slips and task cards. Okay? And then after you do the worksheet, have Miss Canada look at it and mark which ones you got wrong or correct, and then discuss it, and then do your quiz. Same thing. Underline the place value being affected. No work to show. Do in your head. And then this afternoon you'll have a new thing that you're starting. So you'll have exit slips and task cards and all that good stuff. Different things like that. You're going to do a bunch of activities though with the new thing that you're learning, because it's about counting strategies. If you look to the wall by the door, there's tons of counting strategies, and you're going to be learning about those things. It's going to be challenging probably, but you'll learn a lot. So get started on those, that worksheet. Avea, if you need to go out to the round table for concentration, I highly recommend it, because this worksheet's for a grade, and so is the quiz. This afternoon, the rest of you will be doing this packet again, so do the day 3 and 4. Okay? All right, so we're on page 7 of your packet. So turn there. Name and date. So this will be 5, 6. And the directions say circle the 3D shapes that the faces create. So we have to look at these faces and determine, if we put them all together, what shape will they make? Well, do you see any triangles? This one has triangles. I don't see any triangles, so we know it's not this one. So put an X on that. And these faces are all what? These are all squares. So do we have any squares over here? Nope. So it's definitely not that one. But we do have these faces, and these are all rectangles. So circle that. And technically the ends are not rectangles, they're squares. I did not create this though. All right, let's look at the next set of shapes. We have 4 triangles and a square. I already know what this is just by thinking about these, because this would have to be the bottom of the object, and these are the sides of the square, and then they're put together to make what? Well, there are no circles in our shapes, so that's definitely not it. Over here, this has no triangles anywhere, so that's definitely not it. The only one that has triangles is this one, and this is called what? Do you remember? Make them in Egypt, and they are called pyramids. All right, let's look at the next one. We have 2 triangles and 3 rectangles. We know right away it's not the pyramid because we just had that. Mark that out. Just had that one. And are there any squares in these shapes? No, I don't see any. So we know it's not that. Now let's look at this one. We have triangle on both ends. I wonder if I have that shape anywhere. Oh yeah. So let me get the shape for you so you can see it. So look, it's this shape where the bottom is a what? It's a rectangle. And then the sides are also rectangles. So we have 3 rectangles put together to make a triangle at the ends. See? So it is that for sure. All right, let's look at the next set of shapes. We have 2, what's those called? Pentagons. And these are rectangles. Do you see squares anywhere on those shapes? No. So it's definitely not the cube. We do have some rectangle pieces, but look, their ends are squares or rectangles. So we need pentagon somewhere. And here it is. Here's the pentagon shape. And this one right here is the pentagon. It's got the 5 sides. So that is the shape that you're looking at on the page. So the pentagons and then the rectangles. There should be 5 rectangles because there's 5 sides of the pentagon. So there has to be 5 rectangles. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like up here, there was 3 rectangles for the 3 sides of the triangle. That's why there's 4 triangles up here, because there are 4 sides of the square. Okay? Makes sense. Turn the page. The date on this one is 5/6 as well. In my shape, there are blank triangles and blank rectangles. So remember how we were counting the sides and all that good stuff? Now we get to count for real on this one. So how many triangles are there? I don't think I have this shape. But we can see 1 here. If there's 1 here, there's also 1 on the back side. So that's 1, 2. And then how many rectangles? Well, how many sides does a triangle have? As 1, 2, 3 sides. So there has to be 3 rectangles so the object can be closed and not open. Say closed 3D shape. They're all like that. So the next one, they want you to write the number and the shape, the name of the shape. So if you need to get out your 2D, 3D paper, well, it'll be your 3D paper. If you need that, go ahead and get that out. And this item right here is this one. So the blue is a triangular prism, isn't it? And you'll need the names of these, because those are the ones we're naming. We're naming the sides and the faces. So how many of the triangles? Well, there's a bottom and a top. So 1, 2, 2 triangles. Write that down. And how many sides does a triangle have? 3. So you know you have 3 of something. And those are called what? Rectangles. Rectangles. The next one is what shape? It's the cube. Cube. In my shape, there are, what's the cube made of? Well, they're made of squares. How many are there? Well, count how many sides. So if there's a front, there's a back. So 1, 2. If there's a side, there's another side. 3, 4. There's a top, then there's a bottom. 5, 6. All right, next one. It says in my shape there are, well, what's this whole shape made of? I can see a triangle there. I can see a triangle there and there. So we have triangles. And look at the bottom. It's a triangle and it's 3-sided. So there has to be 3 more triangles. So 3 plus 1 is 4. So don't forget about the bottom and then the sides. And I think I have that shape. Don't forget, my shapes are over here on that desk or chair. See the bottom? And then the sides are all closed up. And there's 3 sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4. In my shape, there are, what shapes do you see? Well, look at the top and bottom. It has 5 sides, doesn't it? If you count just this part. So that means it is a pentagon. P-E-N-T-A-G-O-N. How many of them are there? Well, if there's a top, there's a bottom, so there's 2. And then what are the shapes on the sides? What do those look like? Those are rectangles. How many do we have? Well, the pentagon has 5 sides, so guess what? You need that many to close it up. So you'll need 5 rectangles to close it up. Now we know that there's triangles in this shape. We can see them. And what's the bottom? Well, the bottom is a square. Not a rectangle, but a square. And there's just one. We can see that. And then how many sides does a square have? It has 4, so that's how many triangles we will need to make this shape closed. So 4 triangles. So make sure you have everything. You can pause this video to make sure you have all the answers on your page. And then we're going to do exit slips next. So make sure you have a pencil and ruler out because you'll be drawing. All right. So I want you to get this out. And I want you to pause the video and try to work these, okay? You can work together. I don't mind if you work together. You can use your shapes. And then we'll come back and check it. All right, if you got these done in class, then that's perfect. If not, they're homework. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and check these. If you did not get to them in class and they're homework, then you'll check these at home. Make sure you use a checking pen. That could be like a marker, crayon, a regular ink pen like what I'm using. Make sure your name's on it and the dates. I'm going to use pencil because I'll make a mistake and I can't erase with pen. All right, it says draw the lines. Draw the lines inside of this shape to show how it can be made by combining these shapes. So you have a square or rectangle, kind of looks like a rectangle, with two triangles. So look at your shape up here and where can you draw your lines? Well, I hope you drew your lines connecting these two corners or vertices. And then these two. Now I have my rectangle and then my two triangles. Draw the lines inside of the shape to show, well, this is a circle and these are two semicircles, aren't they? So the way to do that is you just cut your circle in half. Now, you could do it that way, or you could do it this way, but only one line, cutting it in half. Draw the lines inside of this shape to show how it can be made by combining these shapes. Well, these are all what? These are all trapezoids. And you could use your shapes to help you. I have two. Let's see if I have a third one somewhere. Nope. So I can still get it started though, can't I? Oh yeah, I see it. So I could do that. And then the last one will fit right there. So you can use this as inspiration on where to draw your lines. So let's see. Could be something like that. And then like that. Try to get it as even as possible. Draw the lines inside of this shape. So we have, what's this called? Remember that one? Called a hexagon. And then this one is a triangle. Well, we can already see kind of where our triangle will go because it's protruding out quite a bit there. And then we kind of just have to see where the side would end for the hexagon. So maybe somewhere around in there. Hexagon shape, triangle shape. It says draw these triangles. So count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many sides does this have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you know that the bottom of the triangle is going to be on the edges. So find the center of your hexagon, and then you will connect all these. Technically, you didn't have to find the center, but you're going to connect all these corners or vertices together. They have to be opposite of each other. So make sure you've done that. And then make sure you've done the last one. All right, now we have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now this one, you know, has a triangle somewhere. And then I think I'm going to put it right here. Triangle, trapezoid. To me, that's the easiest. You probably could have done it the other ways too. So if you did it this way, I'll just do a dotted line. That's correct. If you did it this way, it's also correct. So 3 ways to do that one. Now we have a semicircle and a triangle. And this one we can tell where we should draw our line because our circle is curved and it comes to this corner here. So that's where our line goes. We have 2 semicircles and we have 2 curves, so we know where those are going to go. So this one is pretty simple as well. Just try to get as straight as possible. Count the number of each shape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 trapezoids. Go ahead and write that word. You might have to pause the video. One, 2, 3, 4. Or if you just count this as 1, 2, we have 2 semicircles, and then we have 2 squares. Wow, lots of triangles here, so let's count. If you want to number them, you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 triangles. interesting shape here. Kind of started out looking like a honeycomb. We have 1, 2, 3 hexagons. And then we have 2 trapezoids. Lots of triangles again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 triangles. So write that down. We have 1 big hexagon. So just write that on there. And then how many of these do we have, and what are these? So it's these pieces here, and we call those, starts with an R, rhombus. 4, I don't know if that's correct English, rhombuses or rhombi, not sure. Number 15, we have another big hexagon, so 1 hexagon. And how many of these semicircles do we have? Well, the hexagon is 6-sided, so we should have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 semicircles. Count the number of each shape. Well, we have 1 square. We have 2 trapezoids. Draw a figure that includes 4 of this shape. We will continue this next time because these take a while. So we'll wait on this until the 7th, May 7th. Okay. Alright, so make sure you get these done before we move on. Homework if you aren't able to get it done in class. And check at home. See you next time. Bye.